Before we report on the latest chess move behind the scenes, I must point out the obvious, especially if you are a hacker or you are just an independent observer like myself. We must ask ourselves a couple questions. For example, what country are you located in? Where are you located? Are you in a country that will protect you? For example, are you in Russia or China? And will the Godfathers protect you? Especially when you are attempting to extort the 666 gang. I mean, seriously, you need to ask yourself these questions. I mean, are you protected, or are you located in a Western-controlled country like America, Europe, or various other places, where it is most likely you are being monitored 24/7 by the 666 gang in cahoots with various intelligence agencies, with a high probability that they have a secret asset that is also manipulating you in ways that you may not comprehend? Am I talking about a false flag in its infancy stages? Are you being played like a fiddle as they spy on you, maybe even feeding you intel that they want you to have? Do you feel like you are traveling down a deep, dark rabbit hole? Well, welcome to the dark side of the web. Now, having said that, let's get to the meat and potatoes of today's big story. There is a hacker or a group of hackers that go by the name of the Dark Overlord, and they have released a statement to everybody involved in the cover-up. They say, "Pay us in Bitcoin or we will spill the beans." Now, they are directing this message to lots of different organizations and people. They say all the firms involved, including politicians that were involved, law enforcement, property management people, investment bankers who were involved, and global insurers. The Dark Overlord is warning them, pay up, pay me the bitcoins, or I'm going to expose you. Now, apparently, this Dark Overlord has hacked in to a few companies. He claims to have 18,000 documents that will help expose all the co-conspirators, or basically some of the little guys that were involved with it, that are keeping their mouths shut. Now, this hack allegedly or apparently involves Lloyd's of London and the Silverstein cartel. This is a very interesting story on many different levels. Now, the one part of this story that I really enjoy is one of the law firms that have popped up on the radar here. But before I mention the law firm, I must say that, remember, law firms are like the modern day equivalent of the hired guns back in the Wild Wild West. These law firms do the dirty work. And why I find it so amusing about this certain law firm that has popped up in this story is the name of the law firm. Now, we know that the CIA has a really dark sense of humor. And we know that the CIA has these shell corporations and shell companies that they do business with. So when I hear the name of the law firm, and I think it's pronounced Husch Blackwell. Husch Blackwell. But to me it looks like Husch Blackwell. Again, this is how I read, this is how I decode this law firm's name. Husch Blackwell. Now, of course, black could refer to oil. You've got the wells. You know where the wells are. You know all the people who were involved in this grand conspiracy. And the word hush cover it all up. Husch, the Blackwell. I mean, seriously. These people have an evil, dark sense of humor. A practical joke. I mean, this is probably the biggest evil, dark humor, practical joke that was ever committed on the world. And they're probably laughing their asses off. But I tell you what, lies always come back to bite you in the ass. I see that's what's happening here. This lie has been pushed out there and stretched along for so many years that finally, maybe, I mean, I would hope that finally people would wake up and these lies, I hope, I mean, I guess we can only pray to God. Only a God can help us at this point. I mean, we need a divine intervention. These people are so powerful. We've talked about it. They have all the money. They own all the assets. They pushed a button. You and I pick up the breadcrumbs. They can push a button and get $1 trillion. I mean, shit, yeah. We need a divine intervention to beat these people. But anyhow, I do believe in karma, and I do believe that, again, for the last time, lies will always come back and bite you on the ass. But I have to bring up this Husch Blackwell firm because the name is so in your face. It's so in your face that they have to be laughing at us. So there are far-reaching implications with this story. I mean, what are they scared of? Well, we know they're scared of the truth. Will they pay up? Will they pay up? That's a good question. Now, this hacker group, we'll just summarize here, they are threatening to leak the truth about 911 unless paid in Bitcoin. And this brings up another very, very important detail, doesn't it? Remember our introduction where we talked about, are you protected or are you being manipulated? So if you are extorting the 666 gang and they're going to throw it out there in media, that's why we're talking about this, because it's big news. Are they going to blame all this on Bitcoin and body slam Bitcoin like some international fake wrestling match? I mean, that would mean you're being manipulated, I think. I mean, I guess you could be a protected hacker over in China and Russia, and maybe still the narrative or the agenda could be to body slam Bitcoin. I mean, it's like I said, we're really going down a deep, dark hole here, and we really don't know what is real, and we really don't know what is fake. It truly is an interesting story, but we are just independent observers. And when I look at the blue sky over New York recently, yeah, you've been looking at pictures of the blue sky over New York. And I heard their cover story that night. And I went to bed thinking in the morning that people were going to be talking about this the next morning. I mean, it's not normal to have blue skies over New York. I know exactly what happened. I tried to make a coded message on YouTube. Unfortunately, I cannot actually spell the letters out to you because, you know, who knows? I might disappear from the internet, World Wide Web, and, well, we don't want that to happen, do we?